Some thoughts pass through us, like the wind, light, fleeting, leaving barely a trace. But others, they settle in, they repeat, they deepen. And without us realizing, they begin to shape how we feel, react, and choose. Today's invitation is simple, yet profound. Notice what you've been thinking without noticing. Because every thought charged with emotion becomes a seed. And what is repeated becomes reality. You might find yourself living something you can't quite explain, a cycle that keeps repeating, a pattern that feels stronger than your desire to change. But the truth is, much of what you're experiencing today began with a quiet thought. A thought repeated unconsciously, wrapped in unprocessed emotion. And that thought, however small it may have seemed, found a place to grow. It took root. It became a stable frequency, and life, ever sensitive, responded. Bruce Lipton shows us that the subconscious doesn't understand logic. It understands repetition. It understands emotion. It functions like a recorder, not registering what you wish, but what you feel most consistently. And if what you feel is fear, lack, urgency, or helplessness, that's what the subconscious records. That's what your biology replicates. Not out of malice, but out of loyalty, out of vibrational coherence. The body always seeks to confirm what the mind accepts as truth. Joe Dispenza expands on this. Thought combined with emotion generates an electromagnetic field that interacts with everything. With people, with places, with situations. This isn't magic, it's the science of consciousness. What you think, when infused with emotion, becomes a real emission, a pulse, a frequency that alters the field around you. And that alteration is what we call reality. That's why the right thought isn't the one you repeat once a day. It's the one that's become a silent habit, the one you no longer notice but constantly feel. The thought that reprograms your reality doesn't have to be beautiful. It has to be true. It has to resonate in your body. It has to carry an inner yes. Because the universe doesn't respond to memorized phrases. It responds to what you hold as a state of being. So today, I'm not asking you to monitor every thought that crosses your mind. That would be exhausting. I'm inviting you to cultivate presence, gentle awareness, a kind of loving attention that softly notices when an old thought tries to take the lead, when an inherited mental pattern begins to dictate how you feel. And in that moment, breathe. And in that moment, choose differently. The question guiding your second day is simple, but transformative. This thought that's moving through me right now, is it the future I want to live or the past I haven't yet released? This question doesn't ask for an immediate answer. It asks for space. It asks for pause. It asks for truth. Because one single thought, chosen with presence, can be the turning point. It can be the beginning of the end of an old story. It can be the beginning of everything your heart already knows is possible. Daily practice. The seed. Thought, close your eyes for a moment. Let the silence come closer. There's nothing to fix right now, nothing to control. Just notice. Notice what's alive inside you in this moment. What thoughts have followed you here? Are they anxious, repetitive? Do they carry doubts, hopes, fears? Simply observe. Without clinging, without rejecting, just witness. Because before you plant a new thought, you must first recognize the soil where it will be sown. Now, slowly bring to awareness a thought that you've noticed repeating often. The one that shows up when you look in the mirror, when things don't go as planned, when you compare yourself to others, when you think about the future and feel a tightness. It may be something small yet corrosive, something like, "Nothing ever changes," or "It's too late now," or maybe, "I'm not enough." Feel where that thought lives in your body. Maybe it tightens your chest or contracts your stomach. Maybe it shortens your breath. Don't force an answer, just feel. Because the body never lies. It always reveals what's being energetically cultivated within. And now that you've identified it, thank it. Yes, thank that thought. Because it isn't your enemy. It's just been trying to protect you, even if it didn't know how. Now, gently choose a new thought. Not as someone forcing change, but as someone offering a new possibility to your own field. Choose a seed thought, a thought you'd like to see bloom. It can be simple, something like, "My field is shifting now because I choose to see differently." Or any phrase that, when spoken, brings a subtle sense of relief, a soft hope, a quiet opening within. Bring this new thought into your breath. Inhale with it. Exhale with it. Feel it entering every cell, every inner space. Say it 3 times, slowly, as if planting this seed with your own hands in the fertile soil of your awareness. Feel the difference, not in the volume of your voice, but in the intention, in the presence, in the truth. Now choose a place to record this thought, to make it visible. Maybe a note on your mirror, a phrase on your phone screen, a slip of paper tucked into your wallet, because visual repetition strengthens subconscious imprinting. And the more you see it, the more you feel it. And the more you feel it, the more real it becomes. Today's practice doesn't end here. It continues every time the old thought tries to return. And it will return. Not because you're failing, but because it's still rooted, and every root takes time to release. But now you have a new resource, a new vibrational code to access, and each time you return to this new thought with intention, something within you begins to rearrange. Today you planted a seed. Care for it with gentleness, with presence, with truth. Because what you choose to think today becomes what you begin to live tomorrow. And that is real. That is vibration. That is conscious creation. Quantum affirmation of the day. Some affirmations are just words, but others are portals. They don't come from the mind that wants control, but from the soul that has chosen to remember. When you affirm with presence, with coherence between heart and thought, you're not just saying something, you're vibrating something. You're sending a signal into the field, and the field always responds to what is felt as truth. Today's affirmation is a vibrational choice, a choice that begins in silence, but expands as frequency. My thoughts are vibrational seeds. Today, I choose to plant what I want to harvest. Repeat it slowly, without rushing to harvest now. Just feel the act of planting, of sowing with intention, of trusting the vibration before the form appears, because everything you live begins in the invisible. It begins with a pulse, a state, an emotion that repeats. And life, like sacred soil, responds to what you nurture with consistency. Each time you speak this phrase, do it as if watering a seed in the dark. You don't see the sprout yet, but you feel it. You haven't touched the new yet, but you already vibrate it. Because this is the difference between waiting and creating. To create is to take responsibility for the field. It's to choose what you want to see bloom, even before there's any outer sign. Today you are planting. You are choosing thoughts that don't reinforce the old script, but announce a new story. And even if that story is still invisible to the eyes, it already exists, because it already pulses within you, because it has already been chosen, because it has already been felt. And the field always responds, always listens, always rearranges. So with this affirmation, you seal your day, not with a promise, but with a vibration, with a direction, with a presence that says, I am the field that plants, nurtures, and harvests. I am the field of consciousness. And today, I have chosen. Powerful reflection. Question. Sometimes it's not what you consciously think that shapes your life. It's what you repeat in silence, in the background, on autopilot. Those thoughts that slip by unnoticed, yet settle in as subtle truths. The phrases you never say aloud, but that echo inside you, as if they were part of who you are. And little by little, they carve paths, emotional paths, neurological paths, energetic paths, and before you even realize it, you're living a reality you never consciously chose. One built by unspoken words, inherited judgments, and misunderstood memories. That's why today's question is an invitation into light, into presence. Into loving honesty. What silent thoughts have I been repeating for years? And what reality have they been quietly creating? This question isn't an accusation. It's not a call for guilt. It's a mirror, a gentle mirror, one that doesn't show you what's wrong, but reveals what can still be chosen differently. Because that's what consciousness is, the place where choice becomes possible again. You might discover that for a long time, you've been telling yourself you're not worthy anymore, that you're not enough, that it's too late. You might notice you've been waiting for something to shift on the outside, without realizing that deep within, there's a quiet conviction that everything will just stay the same. And that conviction vibrates. It vibrates more powerfully than any desire. But when you observe it, when you recognize it, you can also change it, not all at once, but one thought at a time. One choice at a time. Because the thoughts that shape reality don't need to be loud. They just need to be consistent. They just need to be felt. They just need to be true. Today, look closely at the thoughts you've never questioned, the phrases that feel natural, but may have never been truly yours. And ask yourself, do I still want to keep creating from this place? Does this thought build or limit? Does this idea expand me or hold me back? Because when you ask with presence, the body responds, and life listens. This question has the power to change your day, and slowly shift your field, and suddenly rewrite your story.